Happy
Chef.
birthday! Happy birthday! That's in the nick of time. I
Hey,
had to get
hey,
my
happy birthday.
I had to get my charger, man. But what's up? What's up? How does it feel to be 50? Say hi only, okay?
I feel like 60 right now. Hey,
Tito
right.
feels like he's 60. Happy birthday! Say happy birthday. Okay. So your
Thank you.
gift for Tito Ice is to leave him alone. Okay. Let us have a show. Okay. 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 Somebody wants to say hi. You know this kid? Come
Oh,
here.
Basti. Basti's there.
Nasty boy. His dad just celebrated his birthday yesterday, right?
Oh,
Last night.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, tell your dad happy birthday. I forgot. Holy shit. I've been so
What a
busy.
friend.
Basti,
What a friend.
dude, you have no idea. Dude, I can barely see my family. Are you kidding
I
me?
know.
I can barely see my family.
I know. That's why it's
Basti.
like you're
I'm gonna text your dad later. Hey, Basti, tell your dad happy birthday, okay? Tell your papa happy birthday, and I'm gonna
from.
message him later. All right? Your papa's my best friend. Do you know that? Your mom's my worst enemy.
He didn't need to hear that. Anyways, all right. So sige, you go to mama now. We have to do the show. This is the Iceman birthday episode. So this is all about ice, and it's all about
I
you,
have
man.
never been so tired in my entire life, man. Ever.
No, belated. It's his belated birthday episode because we didn't get to do it
It's been
during his
11
birthday.
days, Max. It's been 11
11 days. 11 days. Na. Yeah, I know. We were like, just a lot of stuff, man. It's like when I'm
No,
busy or when
everybody's
I'm
busy.
out.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's just crazy.
I had to I had to make up some time with the family. You know, I was like staying indoors all the time and stuff. So I had to make it up to the kids. I had to make it up to the wifey. So I was busy with family time. And whenever we were out, because the wifey does her kickboxing, but she does it on her own. But I felt like, I felt bad not bringing her to the gym and not knowing what's up and meeting the coaches and stuff. So I did that the past week or so. So every time the wifey has her kickboxing thing, I bring the kids with me and we go to the mall and we wait for the mom to finish her session and then that's it. And then at the same time, whenever like I'd be available, you'd be busy or you have your hands full, you guys are out of town or something. So now finally, it's the Iceman birthday episode. So for those who are in the dark, Iceman turned 45, is it?
45, yeah.
45, 11 days ago. All right. And so, tabla-tabla na. We're both, I mean, I'm going to be promoted end of this year. So we're not going to be on the same line of four. But still, the stress my friend is going through is probably a lot more stress depends on the type of stress that people go through. Like you're going through employment stress, you're going through work stress, adjustment
It's
stress.
not really that anymore. It's more of the anticipation that came with it because I'm changing jobs and I didn't know how to do this job in the beginning because it's a totally different job. It's still teaching, but it's totally different. You're completely hands-on. You're like the dad or something, right? So you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
take care of these kids like they're your own.
Yeah.
And we have a teaching philosophy that's kind of like so different from what we've been I mean growing up it was so different. It
Yeah.
wasn't child centered. Teachers
Yes.
teach.
Hey, that's
You
equal.
listen
That's
to your
Kuya Bastos.
teachers.
You ask for
They
me.
scold you. They tell
Yeah.
you you're not good enough and shit like that. And I've been so used to this. But that's not how I teach in the elementary school. But I never really teach. I just like support and like
Yes,
do
yes.
activities and such.
Yes.
But in this new job, it's you're considered as an educator. You're encouraged to teach, to educate in a child.
You actually make a difference, like you.
in a way, because I have like 17 kids, man, and they're just like they're a handful. I have like three who are just like they would just like go nuts from time to time on a daily basis, and you have to deal with that, right? I mean, it's your own kid, then you can just practically like scream at them and you know be mad at them, but I can't be mad at these kids. I have to talk to them, teach them manners and such. But I mean,
Oh,
I
here.
I like the job. So far, I like the job. It's not that I'm complaining
Take
about the
charge.
job, but it's just a fact that I am tired, and I've never been this tired in my entire life. But don't get me wrong, it's a good kind of tired. You know what I'm saying?
Is it a
If I
tired
can,
thing where it's just like the initial first month or so, or is it something that it's you're gonna be
I'm
tired
probably
for
gonna
the
get used
rest
to
of
this. My
your
body's gonna
new
get no.
career?
I think my body's gonna get used to this. I think it's more of like the physical exhaustion is coming from those days, those sleepless nights. I mean, that I had anticipating what's to come, and then when I
Yeah.
finally like started doing it, it has been 2 weeks now. Now it's like, all right, I can do this. Now I'm beginning to know the ins and outs. In 2 weeks, I'm like, all right, I can do this, right? So
Yeah.
now I can sleep straight, not like weeks ago when I would like only have 3 hours sleep and I would like wake up, stay awake for about an hour or so, then go back to sleep because of like thinking about like, oh, what might happen, what's to come. But then now I've been like living the life for 2 weeks, and I'm like, all right, it's not that bad. It's just physically tiring, but I think my body's gonna get used to it. And once I'm like really comfortable with it, it's gonna be. I think it's not a walk in the park, but well, it can be. Like I mean, knowing myself, I mean, yeah, that can happen. Because I have to
Yeah.
teach these kids in the morning. I have to handle 17 kids as my class. Then after that, I have to teach after school. I have after school. They're different kids. So my kids are only with me from 9:30 to 2 p.m. They go home. Then I
Mm-hmm.
do after school at around what 4:30 to 6:30. I have after school. So those are different sets of kids, right? And I have
Yeah.
two after school in a week. But if I'm not doing after school, I'm doing prep for like my class the next day. So there's like so much, so much to do in one day. So I can't even check my phone. I never thought that I could. I never thought that I could do that. But I've never been checking my. I can't check Instagram. I can't check anything. When I was in my previous job, I'm just like on my phone the whole day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is good for me because it helped me with like not thinking about those silly things that I used to think. Oh, maybe I'm sick. Maybe I have cancer. Or maybe I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
murder people or something like that.
Yeah.
You're
So you're
too
like
busy
super
thinking
busy.
about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm super busy.
That's
My
actually what
mind's my mind's
the what
working.
that's what the wifey was telling me to keep myself preoccupied because I was starting to imagine things.
Right, exactly. That's what happens if you're not busy. So now it's a good kind of busy. It's just that I'm just physically tired. But I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I would miss those like big holidays and like, the longer sleeps and like my time with my daughter. But I think Snow has accepted it and she's spending more time with my wife, like with her mother. So I think yeah, they're getting they're getting along well. They're getting to know each other more and more. So I think that's good for her too.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Change, change,
basically it's
change
just
is,
like
change is good. I mean, sometimes change isn't even change. Change is like just going back to where you were, right? Like, maybe you were super busy before, and then you got that job, that teaching job that was a lot more laid back, and you were sort of under an umbrella where there are people who are more, I guess, accountable for stuff, and now you're 100% like accountable for it. So yeah, well, I mean, it's perfect. It lines up with your birthday. It lines up with you getting older and more responsibilities on your shoulders. And shout out to Patrick, by the way. Good evening. Finally got to tune in again after a long time. Yeah, we haven't actually done a show in a while, Patrick. Yeah, I'm on the same boat with Iceman. When I'm at work, I can't check the phone while at work. I'm missing the NBA playoffs. Yeah, the thing with the NBA playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about that. Ice, you have a team. That's
dude, like I told you, I've been so busy the
I know, I know.
last
I
two
mean, okay,
weeks.
I'll just give you
I
the
don't know what's
lowdown.
happening at the NBA. All right,
The
okay,
the, the,
go ahead.
La- the Lakers
Tell
are
me.
in. I think they're ahead 2-1, or it's tied the series with Memphis, and Golden State won earlier, so they at least have one win. But Sacramento Kings are looking really good, and they're up 2-1. Um, the Brooklyn Nets are going to get eliminated. They're down 0-3 to the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it Celtics? No, 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 hold on. I think it's Celtics. And then Milwaukee is, I think, up 2-1 against Minnesota. I'm not sure. Or maybe they're up 2-0. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know which team is your team, but regardless, I myself have kind of lost interest in the current NBA situation because I got banned from NBA 2K, which is the game that I play
Oh, really?
all the time. Yeah, which is also timely that I got banned from that game because I have the Major League Baseball game, MLB The Show, which is the one that I regularly play. But I'm like you said, change is good, so I'm cutting down on my video gaming and more time with the kids and the wifey, and whatever needs to be done. So yeah, and shout out by the way to Ross and to Cuckoo. That's the couple that I'll be hosting for next month. I met up with them earlier at Starbucks, so thanks for the coffee. And Ross is has been a longtime listener of Killer B, so I guess he's very familiar with us both. And I think he follows my vlogs too. That's the groom. So shout out to him if they're watching this. And I don't know with Instagram because I'm more like I'm not really following Instagram, but I'm more on like Instagram now since the wifey has Instagram and she's not on Facebook anymore. And that's why I'm not as active on Facebook. I have a lot of like messages to back read, so I'm more on Instagram. But all my friends list or my whoever I'm communicating with or getting in touch with on Instagram is also very limited. So I have a lot of friends and family who are not on Instagram or on my Instagram followers or following list. So anyways, happy birthday to Iceman. And he was born 11 days ago. He falls under the sign of Aries, right?
Yeah, I am an
Whether you believe in that crap or not. I mean, I'm not, like I said,
Aries.
I'm not, I don't let it dictate my life.
I
If
believe
things,
I believe on the. I try to believe on the good things.
yeah, exactly. That's like if there are things that just kind of fall into place. But
Right.
I noticed with my wifey and myself, we can relate more with the Chinese zodiac, which is the year that you're born. So she's a rat. I'm an ox, and if you look at our personality, if you look at how our relationship is run, it has a lot in common with that. We don't let it dictate anything, but the good thing is they were partners during that race, and they, as polar opposites as they were, and their purposes for running that race was like totally also polar opposite in terms of the reason why they participated, but they made it. And the rat, of course, came first, and the ox came second. So very relatable in that sense, just the personality aspect. But the horoscope aspect, I only got into that because of my sisters. So I'll give you your lowdown, being an Aries, right?
Right.
I have a sister who's an Aries. That would be Angel, the one you met. It's also known as the sign of the ram. So I guess you have a lot in common with myself, who's a goat. I'm also horny. The Taurus is a bull. That's also horny. Horny in
Yeah.
the sense where, like you have horns.
Rossi's that is a Taurus.
Oh, there you go. Horny, right? So, like my mom. It's going to be my mom's birthday tomorrow, I think. Hold on. A couple of days, 23. So, yeah, it's my mom's birthday. So, you're known as the sign of the ram. And you're headstrong, can be natural leaders. However, your competitive side might get you into trouble. I think that's kind of
Hang on,
true.
like-
I think that's
hang on.
kind of true, man. I
Can you say that again?
You're headstrong. You can be natural leaders, but your competitive side could get you into trouble. And
All right. Okay.
and I think during your radio days, you were competitive, but you weren't directly competing with anybody, but people thought you were, and that kind of, you rub certain talents the wrong way because of that, right? But you were not competing with them like me versus you. You were more of like I'm Iceman, and you know, I'm me. I'm promoting myself. That's it. And other people, took that the wrong way. Where is Showtime going, Rod Rodriguez? Showtime. Where's Showtime going? What is this about? Showtime. Oh, you mean Shohei? Shohei Otani? Where is he going? They're saying that the Dodgers might offer him a lot, like 500, 600 million. And the Dodgers obviously have the money. I mean, they're like the Lakers. Hey! Stop it! Stop it! Oh my God! Did you seriously just do that? Oh jeez. Okay, shout out to Joe Boy.
I saw you that.
Shout out to Jet Boy. Guys,
Boy, yes.
let me just do my
Your
show.
boy, Patrick. Been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Hey, Raj! What does he
Oh,
want?
thanks. Thanks for the birthday greetings.
Jago, that's not yours. That's not yours. Okay, you borrow something else. Okay. Oh my God. Can you guys cut me some slack, man? You're going upstairs. Mama will not. You lend it to him muna. Sige, you let him play with it muna. Okay. Anyways, dude, I thought I wasn't gonna have to deal with this, but anyways, that's what happens when you have a little brother who wants to. Raj,
Yeah,
Raj,
that's
don't.
true.
You have a little brother who wants to, be a part of the cool clique of his big brother, and the big brother obviously does not think that's cool, even though the friend doesn't really care. Okay, but hey, you have your friends too. Okay, when you're playing with Manong Sandro, Kuya doesn't bother you. Okay, so don't disturb Kuya. Okay, just say sorry, Kuya. Say sorry, Kuya Raj, not Kuya Basti. Say Kuya Raj. Say. You kiss Kuya. Kiss Kuya. Kiss Kuya. I just want to be cool with you because you're so cool. There you go. Yeah, I just want to. I'm sure Basti can relate. He has like twin brothers. All right. So good evening to Japoy. So we're talking about Iceman. It's his birthday. He falls under the sign of Aries, and he is quite competitive, but he's not directly competitive. He just wants to be the best version of himself. I know him for a fact. I don't know if people even try to make us compete with each other, but I never felt like he was a threatening presence. I actually thought, dang it, why are these people listening to him? And like, I was like doing my show in that particular building, and I went downstairs to get food, and that was the first time I actually really heard about him, because I have an ex-girlfriend who was, I don't know if she's friends with him, but knew him, and she would always like mention him, like if we see him at G Mall or something, and he's Baxter and he's wearing a jacket or something, she would always say, "Oh, that's Chris Rock," blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, cool, and he heard about me too, but he pictured the wrong guy. So that's kind of like how we started out. We didn't really know each other. We were in the same industry. We were both blabbermouths. We were both handling talk shows. We were both jumping from one station to the other, but our paths never really crossed until I joined the radio station that he was a part of, which was Kilo B. So just so you guys know, and we have a lot of common friends.
Yeah, and I keep on, like, I've heard the name, but every time I see, what was his name?
Mike Master Boo. Mike Master
Mike
Boo.
Nasserbu. I'm like, oh, that's Rod Rodriguez.
You thought that was me.
Because, well, the talks about you is, oh, he's from America, like you lived in America. And that guy was like, all right, that's the guy.
That guy's American. I mean,
I know.
but Boo Boy was like, when he joined radio, he was like in and out of the Philippines. When I joined radio, I was like, I've been in the Philippines for like what? Like almost 10 years already? I haven't been back in the US since. So I guess, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, and I get why you're thinking that, because a lot of people actually told me when they first met me, they thought I was fat. They were like, akala namin ano ka, yung mataba. I guess I don't know if they thought it was like, I'm not saying Boo Boy's fat. I'm just saying like maybe they thought I sounded fat on air. Maybe I did.
No, I don't think. No, I don't know. You didn't sound fat. You just sounded like, all right. How did you sound?
I sounded
You sounded serious. You sounded serious.
really. So okay, well, can you recall the first time you heard me on air? Because I recall the first time I heard you.
Yeah,
That was at
like I told you, like
that's
if I'm at Sam's Noodles, they're listening to you.
no way, dude.
Yeah,
No.
there were times that not there were times. So when you told me that they listened to me, I was like, really? Because when I'm there, I they listen to you. Or
Really?
if
Like
I'm
which
at
Sam's Noodle is
McDonald's,
this?
the one down, the one down,
Ultimate Radio?
yeah, underneath Ultimate Radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there were several. There was one in Ilustre, I think. There was one along. There was one where there was a. Remember that restaurant called Annie's?
No, no, no.
Was it
Okay, okay,
Annie's?
okay.
Was
No,
it
no, no, no,
Annie's?
no. Okay, I'm mistaken. The one in Illustre is.
Like
Because
Annie's,
sometimes I
right?
would go there. All right. I think
The
the
one that-
one
Yeah,
beneath
go.
you, I ate there one
Don't
time
put
and
the
they were
food there.
listening to us.
It's gonna get.
I remember that. But the one in Illustre, I do remember listening to you there. I was there. I don't know why I was not at work that night, but yeah, you had a talk show.
Because you, I don't know if you, I don't know if Chloe Summers, my then partner later on, for that nightly talk show, I don't know if she was your student or if you knew her already then, but my understanding was that you heard about me because of her. Because she was like my tandem.
Like who? Which one?
Chloe Summers.
Dude, I don't know the girl.
Because I thought you knew each other.
No, I didn't know her. Like I would like I listened to her and I was like, all right, Chloe Summers. All right. I think I called her one time and I think she took it differently when I said, like, oh, you sound good on air. You sound good on the radio. And I think she took it really negatively.
Like you were coming on to her.
No, not really that. I mean,
Or you were being
sounded
sarcastic.
like I don't know, but she took it differently. She took it like she didn't take it well. And I think that really, like set the tone for, like the future relationship that we had. Because like I mean, there wasn't love, there wasn't any love lost or anything, We met, I called her, I think one time and told her like, oh, you sound good on air, or you sound good on the radio. Then I think I met her finally in person and we did this like, sort of, what was that? Like events planning, team or something. And we had a falling out. And I think she really hated me more after that. But it was more of like her attitude was like really. I don't think we clicked. That's just it.
Okay.
I don't think she's the type of person that I would click with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Me,
yeah, yeah.
I just like say things. I'm a jester. I joke a lot. And I don't think she's one of those people who can take jokes. I think she takes
Yeah, she
life
was-
seriously.
She was
I think
actually
she's
quite
that type of
serious.
person.
Yeah, she was quite serious, and she was like, she tried to look at things like she didn't look at try to look at the humor and a lot of the stuff. Because I mean, she was a lot younger than I was. They were like our junior jocks. They were our campus patrollers, and they were our junior jocks. But I was a lot more. I was the playful one during our tandem. But yeah, it's not taking anything against taking anything away from her. I'm just saying. We're just trying to figure out like how we first heard of each other, how we came to be, because like
No,
it's at
not really.
Iceman's
Like,
birthday.
no.
So Iceman was with Kilo B before I was, and he was in radio way before I
didn't
was.
even-
So
I met you first, like in person. Then I met her in the future through
night,
through Amber.
Chris Papa. Yeah, and and everybody knows that I met my wife through you, and this would not be
Right.
the home I live in if not for you. Bye bye.
Like, see, Bags is the type of person who can take anything from anyone, right?
Dude, you
So
married
that's
me,
what-
man.
like, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that too. But like, she's cool. See, so it only means that if I don't get along with somebody, because maybe they're not that cool. I mean, they're not. I'm not saying that they're not.
See, that's what gets you in trouble.
See, yeah, because you don't have to take my word literally. It's not like they're not cool. I
Yeah.
mean, not cool, but they're not chill. You know what I'm saying?
I got
They
it.
take life seriously. They think things. They take things seriously, and I'm never that person. I
think
don't
the
take
bottom-
things seriously. I
the
say
bottom
a lot
line
of
here
shit,
is
and I
get to-
most of the time I don't mean them.
Get to know somebody first before you come up with a conclusion of
Exactly. Okay. Let's
right.
take, for example, Mr. Bass. Right. So he already judged me way before, and I think he didn't like me or whatever. Then we were together at that training in Manila,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a while before he actually said it. It was like 2 months or so. before he said it, like, dude, I didn't know that you were this cool. I mean, not cool, but this chill or whatever. Like, I really thought that you were this guy. Like, I have a picture of you, and people talk about you, and I really
Yeah.
thought that you were this type of guy. And then it was like, oh, you're not that bad after all. I think we could get along. And then from that moment on, I would like see him at the mall, and we would like talk. And there's like nothing, like before maybe he was thinking that like I'm competitive or whatever, and we're like competing because I'm never that person. I never look at someone or listen to someone and say like, all right, he's my competition. I never thought of it that way. I've always competed with myself, never with other people. That has always been how how I was. It's always like, all right, did I do good in my show? I don't care about other people. Like that's
Yeah.
their show. If people
Yeah.
like them, good for them. I mean, I wouldn't gain anything if people dislike other DJs.
Yeah.
I mean, it will not automatically translate into like, oh, you dislike that DJ, then you must like me. No. Like people can like as many DJs as they want. So me,
That's
I'm just
true.
like working on my craft. I'm just thinking, all right, if they don't like me, then they're not my market. I'm not the person that they want to listen to. It has always been like that. But for some reason, people get so I don't know. They probably get so annoyed because I'm just like joking around all the time. I'm like clowning off all the time.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like you're unflappable, and sometimes that just ticks people off. Like they might be making a big deal of something, and you're like, yeah, like you have that thing, right? Like you're like, wala na ba? Like, and for some people that irks them because it's like, shit's
think
like,
so, yeah.
damn it, like, okay, like I'm all like fumed out and everything, and they're fuming, man. They're like really
I
bothered
think
by the
there was just
issue, and
one
you're like,
issue that really got blown out of proportion.
you guys want to
I
play?
think it was about
Go
this
ahead.
nursing
Play
thing,
with Basti. Play with Basti.
and I
Yeah.
think at some point I said like, "Oh,
Use my controller.
um,
Yeah, go ahead.
what did I say? Like, I don't approve of. I don't know, like what words I used, but it was more of like people who take nursing as a second course. I don't know what I said, but I was just like,
Yeah.
it was more of like,
But that's your
come on, man.
opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's just an opinion. You don't have to listen to me. Like if you took nursing
Oh, hold on.
as a second course, it
Hold up, hold up.
probably made you yeah, all right. And all I'm saying is if I said something like that, but if you took it as a second course and it made your life easier and much more comfortable right now, you could just like laugh at me and just like, just say to my face that dude, you're wrong. And I'm like, all right, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. You're enjoying the fruits of your labor. But at that point I was just like saying like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I will never do it. So if you're gonna do it, like do it. I'm not gonna do it because to me that's silly.
Yeah.
I used the word stupid, but
Yeah.
I mean that's just me. You don't have to listen to me, right? That's always that's you always have that power to turn off the radio.
I think my greatest asset is to not judge people before I let myself.
Yeah, I do believe
I let myself decide. I don't let other people decide for me. So I have a lot. I know a lot of people that people judge. I associate myself with certain people that people condemn. I'm friends with certain people that other people might assume that if you're friends with them, you're like that, you're like this. And I guess having grown up in the US, dude, I was like friends with weirdos, man. I had friends who like did not take showers for like a week. I had friends who like their parents were hoarders. And I kind of saw beyond that. And I think with you, it's like I heard everybody kind of say something negative about you before anybody even said anything positive about you. So for me, it was like, it's like if I base it on other people's opinion about you, I would never probably even associate myself with you or probably already look at you in a negative light. But I got to know the guy. I mean, it wasn't like an initial thing when we were friends. When we were in radio, we weren't immediately a tandem. We were not immediately like chummy with each other. I was closer to Billy Kane and Chuck because I knew them more. And Joe was kind of like the neutral, and then I got really close to Joe, and because Joe's like the introvert, and I get along with people who are like that because I'm a talker, and kind of Joe was like the bridge, because Ice was really friends with Joe as well, and I was also friends with Joe, so I guess Ice figured if I can be friends with Joe, then I might not be so bad, right? But for me, I kind of like I looked at Ice as like I thought he was like the young one, like I thought he was like because he was younger than us. He was the youngest amongst the male jocks, so I thought like he just he was hanging out with his crew and he had his own crew, and whenever we have events, his crew would be there as well because they're that's the market that they're also we have a lot of common friends and stuff. So I would see him with his crew, and I thought that was just how he was. And later on, did I realize when I got to know him really well that, he was juggling two jobs. He was kind of like the breadwinner of the family. He was going through a stressful situation with his relationship. And that's when I found out that this guy's actually probably the most responsible out of all of us, even though he was the youngest. And he was like actually the kuya. Because when you look at the guy, he looks like he's straight out of a boy band. His clothes were coordinated. His hair was, he was Iceman. Just his jock name alone. I mean, Iceman. We had an Iceman in Cebu, and that guy was like the ladies' man. And so whenever our bosses would come to Davao, they'd be like, "Oh, this is the Iceman of Davao, huh? So you're gonna have you have that reputation too, huh?" And he actually did because he was the one who appealed to the Coleyalas. It was the kilabot ng mga Coleyalas because he was still kind of fresh off college and he was teaching too, so he was a presence at school. And
I think it's more of like because I like the job a lot. So that's why with this new job, I've been telling my wife I have to like this job. Because if I don't learn to like it, I will not last long in this job. Like with the other job that I had before this, I kind of liked it. It was the closest to like a DJ job in the Philippines. And not close, but we don't do a lot of work, and it's more of like putting on a show every time.
yeah,
And right, it's more of how do I say it? Like relating with people, and yeah, I can use all my skills that I had in radio, and so I lasted there 15 years. The pay was good, and I couldn't complain. I have long holidays, but this time it's different because I don't have long holidays. Lots of work. I have a lot of responsibilities. I can still use all the things that I've learned in the past, like the radio thing, medrep thing, everything. But it's just like lots of work, and it's physically exhausting because I'm dealing with 6-year-olds here.
yeah,
But then I think I can learn to like it. I think you can learn to like things because I'm having fun with the kids as well. It's just physically exhausting, but I'm having fun with the kids. I've learned how to deal with kids, and I know how to just work
was
around
it
them.
was it tougher than what you were expecting, or was it kind of like, oh, it's not so
Not
bad?
really.
I was really
It's not so bad.
you
It's
know
not
you,
so bad. It's not so bad. Now that I've learned how to it was a good thing that there was one guy who came and served my class, and he showed me how to do things because we do it differently in the other industry. So here it's like, oh, you just leave them alone. I'm like, all right, okay, I can do that. Like before, I have to help kids all the time. Now it's like, no, just leave them alone. If there's an awkward silence, let there be awkward silence. You don't have to help them every step of the way. Just like let them think and let them say things. If it's wrong, it's fine. You can fix that later. But they have to try on their own. So it's like, all right, I can do that. So it's more of like because I don't know what to do. That was, that was what was causing the anxiety. But now I know how to approach it. I'm like, all right, I know when to step in, when not to step in, when to stay away. So it's like, all right, once you know all these things, then there would be less anxiety, and there would be more clarity in your head, and you can do things much efficient in a way. So yeah, basically it's like it's just the driving that I probably worry about because I drive an hour and a half every day.
yeah,
Like no, one way. So that's like 3 hours of my life gone just driving. Though I'm talking to my wife on the phone, but still, like I lose an hour's sleep. But I've adjusted my sleep though. So that's why it's like, oh, I have to sleep I have to be in bed at 9 or 9:30 during the weekdays because I have to wake up at around 6 or before 6. Not like before when I can just like sleep at 12 midnight, wake up at 7, then
Yeah.
that's still like a 7-hour sleep. and I don't do much in school, so it's fine. I don't need to be, I can just like sit there and like close my eyes and pretend I'm reading. I'd be fine. But I can't do that in this job right now. I have to be constantly moving, clean the tables, prepare the tables, sweep the floor, mop the floor, make sure that everything's
So the hours go by quicker, right?
Yeah, that's true. The hours go by quicker though. There was lots of waiting and looking at the clock. In my previous job, it was short,
Yeah.
but it felt like it was a long day.
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's just like, oh my god, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I'm not done cleaning. I'm not done printing. I'm not done preparing for the next day.
So you
I have
don't
to be
take for
early.
granted your free time now. You value it
No,
more, right?
I value it.
You value it more because you back then you probably had a lot more free time, so you're like you
But
could be picky
still.
about stuff.
Still, even if I value my free time, there's still one thing I can't stop doing. You know what that is? Talking to people. Like I would limit my nap to 15 minutes because I have to get up and talk to people.
Well,
It's just me. I just need to talk to people about nothing.
yeah,
Like, okay,
hey, right? I mean, that's you. That's you, right? Oh, we have what E double D. Is this the E double D? Is that the E double D that we know?
I think so. Edsel. Who's Edsel
That's
again?
the dude. It's E double D.
EWD.
E double D. Come on, dude.
Oh, Ed! It's Ed!
E double D. It's him. He's on. Oh no, it's not. It's not. No, it's no, it's not. Well, I still call him E double D. I mean, no. He's Dex's cousin and was my neighbor before. He's in Canada. I'm in Canada now.
Yeah, I thought it was like Ed. All right.
No. That Ed was Dolores. That Ed. The Ed that you know is Dolores. But Ed, he follows our show. Come on, that's Edsel. You
Yeah,
know
I
him.
know. But yeah, because I know so many Eds, so it's like I get confused. Hey, Edsel, what's up,
Yeah,
man?
it's not the E double D though. The E double D was yeah. See, he's like my neighbor who's like we're on the same wavelength with this guy. You know, he gets us. Like he speaks our language. So
Yeah. And I try to speak to my kids like, like this. I'm like, hey, man, come on. I like one kid today, we were like going to the park, and I'm like, all right, line up, and there was this, like couple in the
Toronto.
park.
your brother's in Toronto,
From
right?
Toronto.
Yeah, his Ice's brother is.
Dude.
Yeah, if you see a guy who looks like him,
Basketball.
that's his brother.
Yeah, I mean, if you play basketball, you'd probably know him. Like he's been playing a lot there in Toronto. And
Yeah, if you're in touch with the
anyway,
Filipino community as well, right? I mean, I don't know how the.
Yeah, and oh yeah, congratulations to my niece. She gave birth to like a baby boy, and congratulations. I haven't even had the chance to message her and congratulate them because I'm just very busy.
So you're a lolo now?
No, not really me. I mean, I'm not the direct lolo. So my brother is a lolo.
You're still a lolo though.
Like yeah, I know that's what it. But I'm not.
Grandpa
that's
Ice.
really my grandkid. That's right.
Do you bet on NBA games, Ice? Oh my God.
No, I don't bet on anything. Here's the thing, Joe Boy. I'm like my dad. My dad, he gambled, but the only time he gambled when he was playing bowling himself. When he played bowling, he would play against people and he would like bet on himself. He never goes to casino. He never bets on other people. He only bet on his skill. I would bet on my skill. I would never bet on anything. So even if it's Michael Jordan or whatever, I would never take the chance.
Dude, Nick Nurse is out of the Raptors now. Just breaking news for the NBA fans out there. But go back, guys.
Really?
I mean, Nick Nurse of the Raptors. Yeah, they fired him.
Why did they fire him?
I mean, they bought him
Championship.
he gave them a championship. I know, and he's always been solid. Like, I mean, look at the
Yeah, he's a good
Raptors now.
coach.
What do they
Mr.
expect?
Coach.
What are they expecting? You know, I mean, look at the Raptors now. What are they expecting? Like, I mean,
That's sad.
but then again, one team's trash is another team's treasure. So maybe maybe he'll find us place somewhere. A lot of teams
Joe,
need
but I don't-
a better.
I don't gamble. That's just the thing. I don't gamble.
But Joe Boy, I have friends. I have a compadre who bets on NBA games like 300,000 pesos, 200,000 pesos. Like they bet that much. It's crazy. It's crazy. And these are the same guys who play fantasy basketball, like NBA
and
fantasy
it could
basketball.
it could be that because I don't have the money to bet on things. So maybe that's
Yeah.
just it.
Yeah,
But maybe
see.
if I have a lot of money, I would bet on things.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I don't have much money because I don't
Because
bet on things.
they have a lot of these
I'm not a
like
gambler.
conditions like plus five, plus ano, like overtime, or LeBron will get this many points. There's so many like shave, whatever. It's like, and there are apps for that now too. Like there are a lot of like these online betting apps or sites where you can actually bet real money and make real money. And a lot of people that are good at forecasting games, like okay, is Toronto? I mean, is Golden State going to win Game 3 or Game 2, whatever? They have that stuff. So gambling is not like the gambling that we remember it from our parents now. A lot of the kids now they do that stuff, and it's it's just like nothing to them. But Joe Boy, do you think Ice looks like okay? Here's Ice. He's frugal. He is picky, which is kind of hard to combine, right? Somebody who's frugal and picky. Because if you're
That's true.
right, if you're a thrifty person, you have no choice. You have to buy the cheap ones. But he's not like that. Like, like he knows what he buys and he knows quality and he knows all that stuff. Like, he knows what he wants, but he wants to get the best deal at it. That's kind of like, is it legal there in the Philippines? Are you talking about like betting, Joe Boy, or the site? My friends they bet under the table. I mean, it's not something that's announced. I guess it's just among friends. But if you're talking about like the apps and stuff, I do not know. But I see it like advertised a lot on YouTube and NBA games. I guess if you have like a U.S. dollar account or something, maybe, or if you have a credit card that's international, I guess you can do that. But I've never myself participated. Yeah, gambling is different now. Back then, the one we bet about is who's going to win. Now it's the details that we bet on, like who leads after first quarter, who scores a knockdown. Yeah, like if LeBron's gonna score more than 25, or if that's basically it. That's true. There are a lot of those little things. And there's boxing, by the way, coming up. Hervonte Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. If you guys are familiar with those guys, I follow boxing, so it's really going to be interesting how that's going to turn out. It's like an online version of Last Two. Okay, so even Gabby D's tuned in. See, Ice, a lot of people showed up on your birthday episode, man. I mean, where were you guys back when
No,
we needed you guys?
it's a Friday. That's why they're all probably free or whatever.
No, Friday they're all gonna be out because it's a holiday. They should all be out. I mean, I messaged Joe and Mao and I'm like, when are we gonna assemble again? But anyways, they're here because of your birthday. Well, belated birthday. 11 days ago was Iceman's birthday, so this is a Iceman episode and very timely that we're catching up because Ice just he has a new job now. Same teaching thing, but it's a different ball game. He's a lot more, I wouldn't say stressed out, but more accountable for the workload that he's been given. The responsibility is a lot bigger, and we were catching up with how it's been. It seems like he's okay now, because at first he was very kind of in the dark about stuff, and he was like, "Oh, it's the first time I'm going to be doing this." But somebody told you, right? Somebody said that, "Oh, you can actually be like the leader of this group or something, or you could actually excel at this or something before you even started it, right?" Like
What,
when
what
you were,
his job?
yeah, like you met somebody and then they're like, "Hey, I think you can, do this." Like because at first they didn't know about like that you were this and that, and then they found out later, and they're like,
So here's the
"Oh,
thing.
yeah."
Here's what happens. Okay, there's actually a drama attached to it. So what happened was there was like changes in my job, right? So what happened was my wife called because this is her school, right? Before she quit to have this job nearby. It's still a full-time job, but at least she can come home early and help my daughter with her homework and stuff. So since there are like changes in my job, I was like looking at like other options, and she was like, "Let me call my school because I think it's one of the best international schools in Japan. So if you're going to work in an international school, better work for them." So she called, and all the while, the principal thought, like the one who's like the head honcho of the international school, he worked in many places, Thailand, China, and now he's in Japan. I think he's the one responsible for making the school bigger, and they have so many campuses now. What happened was he thought that my wife probably has a Japanese husband. So when she told him about me, he was initially like, "Oh, maybe he didn't know my background. So he was just like, no, no, no. Like, oh, I'm done hiring. I don't need people. And
Yeah.
then when my wife mentioned, like, oh, he's been teaching for 15 years. And if you think that I'm a good teacher, wait till you meet him because he was the one who taught me everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's a better teacher than I am. And he was like, oh, well, he changed his tone. Like, all right, ask him to send his CV right away today. We need to move fast. I need to see the CV. He sent me CV. Once he got my CV, he emailed me. He replied and said, "Can I talk to you, like FaceTime?"
Yeah.
And we did. Once we started talking, all of a sudden, all the yeah, I played it cool. I said, "All right, I don't need a job. I have a job. I felt bad that my wife called you and
Yeah.
put you on a spot. Like, I know you hired people. Give it to them. I don't need a job. I have a job." And he was like, "No, no, 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 no." Then he was explaining to me. He was selling me the school, and I was like, "All right." And then he was like, "If you come work for us, blah blah, this will be, whatever." And then he was like, "Can you start next week?" I was like, "No, I can't start any. I still have a job." So I'm like, "All right." And he was like, "Okay, can you come and do the trial?" So I did the trial lesson. So they probably saw me and I wasn't awkward with the kids. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can tell that, oh, I've been, in Japan for a long time and I'm not awkward with kids. So that means I have been working 15 years around kids with no
Yeah. Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "All right, you're cool." Then they were like, "Can you start right away?" Like, I can't. I have to finish my contract with the other company. I'm not even sure if they're gonna let me go. So I have to
Yeah.
talk to them first.
Yeah.
And they eventually did. And all right. So but then I told him this is a totally different industry. So there's a lot of things that I need to learn. Because even though I've been working for 15 years in elementary schools, it's different from working in international school where teaching little kids, kindergarten kids. So I need to learn a lot of things. So I need to, like I need time.
Yes.
And I might not be that like awesome as what my wife would, like how my wife put it. So I was in, and all of a sudden, the guy called me. He was like, "All right, I need to talk to you." This was like a week before I start,
Yeah.
and he called me like, "Oh, you know nothing about the international school, right?" I said, "No, I don't know anything practically, just a little bit from my wife." And then he said, "All right, cool. I will make you the leader of the Toyota school." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "All right, I'm up for the challenge, but I mean, if there's no opposition from people, then I'd be fine with it. Like, I would give it a shot. I mean, yeah, I've been put in, situations like that before, and I was able to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do my best if that's all right with you." It's like, yeah, yeah, I'm confident, blah blah, your maturity and whatever. So he put me as a leader. Now, when I came
Okay.
in, little did I know that somebody from the team wanted that position.
Okay.
So during the opening ceremony, this person cried because it's a woman.
Oh crap. Yeah.
She cried, and we didn't know why. So she's in my school, so I've already met her, and she cried that day. So I was like, I thought somebody, like there was an emergency or something. And my wife went up to her because we were together at that opening ceremony. My
Yeah.
wife went up to her and said, "Hey, are you okay? Did somebody like hurt you or whatever? Like, like can you can tell me." And my wife didn't know that it was me who was the reason for that.
Oh
She
man.
eventually found out from somebody, and then my wife told me. And then when I got into the school, she talked to me. She was like, this is a situation. I actually asked for your job, like for the leadership position, and it, wasn't given to me, blah, blah. I felt really bad. I cried. And I said, like, you know what? I, I'm sorry that happened, but I didn't even thought of it as, like as a position that I really wanted. Like coming in, I just wanted to like the job, do a good
Yeah.
job, stay here.
Yeah.
No leader, whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me. I mean,
But it
because
wasn't.
if it makes me feel,
It wasn't something you took from anybody though. It was something that was handed to you though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
I explained it to her, but I didn't want her to feel bad because I see her point. She was there for about 2 years, and she wanted the job because the other leader quit, right? So I said, if it makes you feel better, we can work as a team. Don't look at me as your leader or whatever. I need your help. I need the other person's help, the former leader. I need your help. We're a team. We need to work as a team. Like,
yeah.
don't if it makes you feel better, don't look at me as a leader. Let's just do it all together. We can help each other out. There's a lot of things that I need to learn, and you guys can obviously help me. And so far, it's been working pretty well. And the thing is, they don't like each other. Now that I learned that, like, oh, so that's the reason why the other person quit, because they don't really get along well. So now I'm in the middle. I have to make it work for everybody. And so far, everybody's been like, oh, it's a good thing that you're in the middle. You're making it work, because it would be really terrible if one of them is the leader and they would like constantly fight.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like in the middle. I'm like trying to make it work for everybody. So I think my goal is like, all right, we're a team. Let's do this as a team. Like nobody's, like, yeah, we're all the same here. So I'm trying to make them feel that it's, I mean, I feel that way. That's how I feel. I don't like telling people what to do. Like I don't like that type of, I've never wanted that. Like even before, I never wanted to be the program director or whatever, because I don't want to be responsible for other people. I don't want to tell people what to do. Because for me, it's like that person knows what to do for the most part. I'm always like, I'm always positive with things. And I always know that, or I've always believed that people know what's best for them. So it's really hard for me to tell people what to do. So that's my struggle. So now I'm just like, all right, let's just do this. Like, all right, maybe I have a suggestion. If you like it, we can go with it. If you don't, then we can talk about, other options. So far, that's the situation right now. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's, they're like, oh, you're a leader. I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. I'm the leader, whatever. Let's just do this as a team, you
Yeah.
know? So it's,
But I mean,
yeah.
like I said, that's one of those instances where you could be misinterpreted, right? Because like you take on all challenges, and if somebody like brings that up, and you're not gonna decline it, and then somebody actually was eyeing that position, then they're obviously gonna think, oh, you grabbed that opportunity without even considering this and that and that. I mean, people can like interpret it that way, right? Whereas you
Sure.
really were not in the wrong, because if it was offered to me, I'm not quite as aggressive as you are in terms of like, accepting a new challenge and whatever. I probably like think it through or whatever. But it doesn't make me any less, it doesn't make you any more guilty than I would have been had I like declined it or said I think it over. Because like I said, it wasn't your choice. It was given to you. It was handed to you. So the guilt shouldn't be on your shoulders. But anyways, like I said,
But
that's like a positive, but it can still be a
yeah.
negative, right? To
Yeah.
other people.
The good part though is like, I've managed to build a relationship with them. Like even that person who was like eyeing for the position, I've become friends with her in a way. Like we've
Yeah.
been like talking, and I've been like I'm being open to her, and she's being open to me too. So we've been like, actually, it's I thought we are gonna like clash, but actually we're actually getting along a lot, like really well, to be honest. Because she's from the UK, so
Okay.
she's Brit. I
She's
like her
Brit,
sense
yeah.
of humor. I get
Yes.
her. So
Yes.
we laugh
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah. You love
Whereas
Love
like,
Actually. Come on, right?
yeah, I know, right? So, like, a lot of people would misinterpret her for being grumpy or whatever, but it's just like her being Brit. So every time she says things, I just like, you know, go along with it, and we just click, I guess. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
she would say like, "Oh, kill. Oh, you want to help me kill whoever?" And we were like, "No, no, no, no." But no, she's not gonna. No, she didn't mean that. She was just like saying that.
Yeah,
And
that's
she would
Brit
say things
humor.
like, "Oh, right." It's Brit humor. She was like, "Oh, ice are the
Yeah.
worst," and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Yeah, right." And we would just like laugh. And actually, it's yeah. So we're getting
Yeah.
along well.
Well, there you go. Speaking of Brit, Joe Boy, you win some, you lose some. Do your thing, bruv.
I know, right?
That's a Brit guy right there, Joe Boy. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat with you, man. I love British people. My aunt's married to well, I have a British tito, and he's always like they have this like there's a sweet sarcasm to
Right.
the stuff that they say. It's not like the American sarcasm where it's like you don't know if if it's that they're being sweet when they do that stuff.
Right.
Like what you said, like you can help me kill whatever. Like that's kind of like right. There's something sweet
Yeah.
about it when it's from a Brit, right?
It's true. Because I told her like, you know what? I had a friend like she passed away. Vicky was exactly like that. She was like she would be on my case all the time, and like this person is like, oh, you're really close to her. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get along with this girl, and yeah, we're actually getting along. So it's really nice. I'm getting along with everybody there.
That's
I
good,
hope.
man. That's
'Cause
good.
maybe I think I am getting along with them, but they actually hate me. So I hope that's
No,
not
no,
the
no, no.
case.
I mean, a lot of that drama stuff, that's probably more common here in the Philippines, where people are nice to you and then behind you they talk about you. In other countries, in most first world countries, they're actually quite frank. I mean, they'll be, if they're upset, they'll tell you. But then you also don't know because like you're the new guy and maybe that's not the culture that they're used to. Okay, so you have work tomorrow? What's up?
No, not really. No, no, it's just I have 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do the
No
10
one can.
minutes.
All
What's
right.
your
No one can
I
do
know, I
it.
know. I get it. You gotta make up.
She's
You gotta
missing
make
me
up.
for a very
You
like
gotta make up.
like she's always like, why are you like always coming home
You
late? You
miss
get
her
home
too.
10 minutes.
Come on, you miss her too.
I felt guilty last night because you know what happened? She was like, "Can we sleep together?" I was like, "Give me 10." I was like, "A little bit more. I just need 5 minutes,
That's
like sitting
sweet,
down
man.
in front of the TV." Then I was like, I thought she wasn't gonna sleep early. Then only 5 minutes, man. When I got in, she was out, and I was like, "Oh, I feel so bad." I
Oh
wanted to
crap.
like tell her a story and something.
So you don't want to be, and actually, when people are wondering why it's not that late, it's 11 already in Japan,
Yeah, yeah.
folks.
It's actually
They're an
11:30.
hour ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's conclude this. I mean, okay, we can do another episode at an earlier time because we started late, so this is an exception.
Yeah. Sure.
But I know we only have like a couple of people watching anyways at this time. So thank you to everybody who checked in. Hopefully, when we do the show earlier and we have a full on like birthday episode for Ice. Maybe Snow can join in and I'll ask her a couple of questions. Maybe, I don't know, the wifey can give you her birthday wish or something. But we started late because the wifey attended a party with Raja and I couldn't do a show with just
And it's a
Jego.
recital on Sunday too. It's a recital on Sunday.
Oh, wow. There you
So
go.
yeah. So
That's what, her second or third? What is it?
no, this is the
It's
first for this
piano.
year.
It's piano,
Yeah,
right?
it's piano. Yeah, it's
Okay.
piano.
Well, what's the piece? What's the piece?
It's the figure skating in Argentina.
Wow.
So it would be like, well, hopefully she'll
Yeah.
ace it. So we'll see.
Well, you'll be there to
Yeah, we'll be there.
yeah.
All right.
To
Well,
rant,
if you're good
to,
tomorrow, I'm
to,
fine
to rant
tomorrow.
if she. Yeah, tomorrow I'm good. I'm supposed to invite my friend Carlo because he's in town, but
Right.
the parents are having health issues, and I really I sympathize with the guy and the family, and I empathize with them as well because I'm very close to his parents. But he's here for that. He's not here for like vacation. So I won't. And he said that he for personal reasons he couldn't make it. We were actually going to invite him for dinner tonight. The wifey was ready to cook something for him because he hasn't been to the
Right.
house in a while. But yeah, get well soon, Tito Wally, and same with Tita Tinette. If Paulo's tuned in, Pau, be strong. All right. Same with Olrak,
Yeah.
my friend. So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah. So tomorrow I'm good unless
All right. Okay. Yeah. I
unless
have
I go
nothing
out with
tomorrow night,
family.
so-
Yeah.
All
Usually
right.
when I
Yeah.
go out
Just
with
let me know.
family, we're home. We're home like at 8 or something because we don't really want to stay out because it rains almost every night here and it gets
So we
flooded.
can start
So.
at we can start at 9 p.m. there.
So you're
It's fine.
better tomorrow. No, no, no. We'll try to start as early as we can so you can, we can
It's a
extend
Sunday
or
anyway, so
yeah.
yeah.
All right, all right. So
All right. So thanks a lot, guys.
Happy
for joining
birthday,
us.
Ice.
Really, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I
All
wish the
right,
wish you
yeah,
want to wish.
But yeah, that's the thing. When you're older, you're not excited about birthdays.
So what
because
presents did you get?
Dude, nothing. Seriously, nothing.
Except for the pair of
My
shoes.
wife didn't give me anything.
She will. She's
Like-
saving it.
I don't know. I hope hopefully.
She will.
So
She
far,
will.
nothing. But yeah,
She will.
I've been so busy, so there's nothing so
Yeah.
far.
I know she will.
But,
She's like
yeah.
waiting for the storm to settle because if you're first week on the job or whatever, and then it's rar, So you know what's up. All right,
All right. Okay. So.
all right, dude.
Well,
Happy birthday.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you tomorrow, and thanks a lot for joining us. This has been the Happy Birthday episode, belated, and of course, happy birthday to my friend. Belated as well. It was yesterday. Master Yoda. Happy
Yes.
birthday. All right, so we'll see you guys again. Thanks for joining us. All right. Good night.
Happy birthday, Ice.
We're out.
Bye bye.